Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here on DarkAvengerINCPlus, where today I'm doing a comic review for one of my favorite, actually this is probably my favorite Marvel title out right now, Superior Spider-Man number 13, the conclusion to the execution of the Spider Slayer story arc. Alright, pretty much Spider-Man is fighting this, warning there will be spoilers for this story arc, so just keep that in mind. Alright. Spider-Man fights the Spider Slayer. Pretty much fights the Spider Slayer. And while this is going on, the Vulture gets ready to attack the civilians, such as Gloria Grant, Nora Winters, the head of security at the raft. The guy, pretty much everyone left in the execution chamber that Spider-Man used the Spider Bots to put in a force field to keep them safe. And of course, when Vulture gets ready to attack them, they start bargaining with them. Okay, some people from the DA's office are there. Nora Winter, she works for the Bugle. She offers, to make sure that, if they help, they kind of like try to talk the Vulture up, say like, help us out, we'll help you by saying that, you did a good job, and, maybe we can get you acquitted, or say that you put in a good word for you, something to give you a better chance at a better life, blah, blah, blah. But, most of the guys who work at the raft are like, no, as soon as this field drops, we go for him, we take him out. And also, for J. Jonah Jameson, he's wearing some body armor, holding a gun, trying to find the Spider Slayer, and suddenly he gets attacked by Scorpion. But fortunately, Jonah is saved by the Lizard, who reveals to Jonah that he may have the Lizard's body, but he actually has the mind of Dr. Kurt Connors. Alright, so back to the fight between Spider-Man and the Spider Slayer. They go at it until Spider-Man, who again isn't Peter Parker, he's he's really Dr. Octopus. He rips off Smythe's tail and then stabs him right in his heart with it. And so after that, since Smythe's body is dying, all the mini Slayers start to deactivate. And all the enhancements that Smythe gave Vulture, Scorpion, and Boomerang, they start to fade. Vulture, he loses, and Vulture had just gotten his sight back, so he loses that, and he's blind again. He's crippled, and right when that happens, the force field from the Spider Bots goes down, and the raft guys pretty much knock him out. But after that, everyone starts leaving the raft, and then suddenly Spider-Man notices there's a mini Slayer still activated, which means Smythe is still alive, and he's right, because Smythe's body may be dead, but his consciousness is still active for a few more minutes. And right when he comes back, he grabs Spider-Man, and this is the real funny thing about this entire issue. He tries to switch minds with Spider-Man so that basically Smythe will live out his life as Spider-Man, and Spider-Man will die as the Spider Slayer. Sound familiar? Yeah. Because pretty much he's trying to use this trick on the guy who did it successfully and knows how to prevent it. So basically, Otto Octavius still has the carbonite plating from 700 still in his mask, and that pretty much blocks the transfer. And right when Smythe is dying, Otto actually reveals to him that and no one's around to hear this, so he pretty much tells him that he's really Otto Octavius. So even if it did work, he wouldn't have truly defeated his enemy. Thus, his legacy would be all for nothing. And so with Smythe dead, everyone gets on a Coast Guard boat back to Manhattan, and on the ride back, Jameson's still getting ready to close down the raft. However, Spider-Man alters an alternative, and he asks Jameson to turn over the raft to him. Jameson, of course, refuses, so Spider-Man pretty much shows him a recording he made of when Jameson ordered him to do whatever it took to finish the job, which is pretty much to kill Smythe. And when basically Spider-Man blackmails Jonah into giving him control of the raft. So now pretty much, and so now the issue ends with Spider-Man setting up pretty much working on stuff in his new base, the raft, or as he told the media, it's now going to be called Spider Island 2. And so now he's got a whole secret base, and he's on the phone, and he's starting to order he's apparently at some sort of, I guess, agency in the Marvel Universe where you can just order henchmen, which makes sense since there are a ton of supervillains, and he's ordering a ton of henchmen saying that, he'll send designs over for the uniforms and he might need to redesign his costume, and he thinks to himself how now with the Raft and with minions he'll be able to be a far more superior Spider-Man. That will be his legacy, and that's where the issue ends. Okay, Superior Spider-Man number 13. Really great issue. I gotta say, I really laughed when I laughed out loud when I got to the whole Smythe trying to switch bodies with Spider-Man. That was just the real funny part of this issue. Like, oh wait, this isn't gonna. I'm like, oh geez, this isn't gonna work. It really isn't gonna work. And of course, and yeah, you're right. It doesn't work, but it's still really funny. And even the ending, though, the ending of this was very hilarious too, because we have Otto talking to himself like, oh, I'm going to be a hero now, I'm going to save people, I'm going to be the best superhero ever. But really, he's kind of still acting like a supervillain. He's got an island secret base that he's outfitting to be more secure, and he's also ordering henchmen, placing an order for some henchmen. I mean, come on. I mean, he's still thinking. I mean, the thing is, Otto's motives have kind of changed. He's now pretty much trying to be a hero, but he's still acting like a supervillain, which is still kind of funny. And and also, I like how now the whole Mary Jonah and Superior Spider-Man bromance is officially over, because right when Spider-Man blackmails him, Jonah goes back to his mindset that Spider-Man's a menace, he needs to be stopped. And while I can't help but think that will probably be touched on in another story arc, because if you remember a couple of issues ago, Carly Cooper and Captain Watanabe started an investigation that Carly's being skeptical that this isn't Spider-Man. This isn't the real Spider-Man. And I think soon that their investigation is going to come to the attention of Mary Jameson, and he's going to help them try to prove that this isn't the same Spider-Man. So I look for, and the way Otto no longer has access to Peter's memories, that could mean his identity as Peter Parker could fall apart too. So there might be a possibility for a future story arc where everything Otto's been covering up all comes crashing down on him. And that's something I look forward to. Also, after this, in the next issue, Otto Octavius will redesign the Spider-Man costume. You've seen previews. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen previews for it on several covers from the Marvel solicitations for the next 3 months. Can't wait to see those. Also, but back to the issue at hand, Superior Spider-Man number 13. Dan Slott is still doing an amazing job. Okay, this book is really amazing. It's awesome. I know having a supervillain in the body of one of your favorite superheroes is a little not really a good selling point, but once you read this, you'll realize how great it is, how it's an amazing book. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, hey, like whenever someone, like people have been asking me, are there any good Spider-Man comics? And I have, and for some people I have told them that that Spider-Man is actually Dr. Octopus now, but I've been telling them that the series is still good, and I think once people actually read the comic, I mean, because a lot of people were against this idea, they're like, oh man, this is going to be terrible, but then when they read Superior Spider-Man, they go, oh man, this is amazing, I've got to get more of this book, Dan Slott's doing an amazing job. Well, it's right, and I think this issue, again, proves that fact. Superior Spider-Man, it's a great series. I think it's one of the best Marvel titles out right now. I highly recommend you buy this book. And especially now, because next issue, issue 14, it's going to be a new costume, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a good jumping on point for people who haven't read this book, who are new readers. They're definitely going to enjoy it. That's all I have to say. Really great. Superior Spider-Man's really great. Dan Slott's doing a great job. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing to Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.